Hello everyone. Sorry here. Thank you so much for joining me for a Kendra Card Challenge Design Hop featuring the super sponsor Love from Lizi. This is the first time being a super sponsor, and I have been very honored to have one of their card kits as something to play with and create some beautiful cards with. So I do have a little piece of scrap paper there because I was doing the measurements on this card versus the sketch, and I wanted to see if I can figure out a conversion that works for what I have. And the reason for that is because the card bases that come in these kits are not A2. You get 3 A7, and then there are 3, I believe, 5¼ by 5¼ square cards. So I was determined to actually use them because you do get the envelopes as well. So I can actually send this to someone if I wanted to. So this is going to be spring Easter themed. I don't use the Easter sentiment, so it could definitely be a really cute spring themed card. And I will say I thoroughly enjoyed playing with all the elements in this card kit, and I did do an unboxing that you can check the video out if you're interested, or definitely check out Love from Lizi's to see what the most recent card kit is. And I believe this is the April one. I'm not sure if they're a month off or not. I can't remember, but I believe it's the April card kit. Now I am doing sketch number 9, as you can see in the image in the top right hand corner there. But like I said, the measurements are a tad off, but I have my 2 strips of pattern paper on the left side, and then I have my square on the right side. I could have made the square a little bit larger, but the pattern paper actually had cutouts that were square, and you can see the bunny right behind that basket there. It's already a nice image to use, so I decided just to stick with a smaller square and then adding a little bit more layers just to kind of spread it out into the card. I have this die cut that does come in the card kit. It's this beautiful basket with lots of intricate dies or intricate pieces to it. And I decided that I'm going to tuck that in underneath my glitter square there so that I can start creating more of a collage. I'm going to create a kind of a scene on the left-hand side there. Now to fill in my square, I cut that out because it is a nice cardstock and I don't want to waste it. So to fill in that, I'm going to just add some scrap pieces. Maybe I should have filled it in completely because the pattern paper in this card kit is more paper-like. So I didn't notice it dipping, but it definitely could if you have too much of a gap. And there we go. I think that looks really nice on that glittery paper, the soft purple and that little cute bunny. This is definitely a hard card to make. I don't typically make cards this large, except for maybe Craft Roulette when they force me to. So there's a lot of real estate to work with, and it's a different way of crafting cards, in my opinion. It's trying to think of how do you get rid of all that extra space and not make it so empty looking. So here's one of the wood veneers. What I did off camera is I added embossing powder to it, embossing ink, and then I poured it white embossing powder on top of that, and I did that twice to create a nice white sheen on it. It actually worked quite well. I was quite pleased with that. And then I just glued that down with some glue, and it seems to stick quite well. I was actually quite happy that I was able to use one of these wooden pieces. It looks really nice. I'm quite pleased. Now to continue with the clustering, I'm going to add some of these little cotton balls and flowers to just around the bunny there. In no particular fashion, just kind of placing them around, trying to create a little cluster. And then I'll bring out the bling that also comes in this kit. Everything is in this kit, all of it. And so it's quite a great value with a bunch of different elements that you get. And I'm just going to plop those down. There's the flower bling and then the tiny little gems. And I'll probably do, I think I do 5, 4. I'm not sure. Well, let's see. It looks like I only did 4. And there we go. Now to finish it off, I will add a sentiment. This is a cutaway piece on one of the sheets in the card kit, and it says best wishes. I just cut one that it was a generic sentiment that had a color that matched the pattern or that I've already been using, which is not hard. Everything coordinates with this card kit. Okay, so the next card I wanted to share, which is also an A7, is sketch number 10. And once again, this card kit includes a bunch of cutaways that are squares. So the squares that I'm using here are, I believe, roughly 1 3/4 square. And so, yeah, so that's what it says. And then I did a 1 7/8 matte layer in some blue cardstock. Now the pattern paper that I'm using in the back, I actually really like that. It's such a nice, bold, but not grabbing your attention per se, background. It's a really nice complement to the elements that I'm going to be placing here. And I'm not going to follow the sketch exactly because this sketch is fitted for an A2. I couldn't get these squares and that design to look correct. So I'm going to just make them a little bit crooked and overlap them. To just add a little bit more to these squares, I'm going to take these Love from Lizi peel-offs. You don't need to watch me do that finicky work, so I cut that out of the video. But I pretty much just went around the image on all 3 of them with the peel-offs just to give it a little bit of texture, differentiating between the 2 images, and more color that kind of ties in with the card. It's almost like picture frames now. The video, it didn't take too long. It probably took about maybe 5 minutes just to go around the whole thing. And I'm just going to, instead of using foam tape, I had this extra cardstock scraps. Instead of throwing in the recycling, I'm just going to use them on the card to prop it up so that I have a little bit of height there. And I also did sneak in a doily on the left side. I think I missed it while I was chatting away. And it's just half of a doily that comes in the card kit. This card kit came with 2, a circle and a heart. And I decided to stick with the circle one in this. And I just think that adds some nice texture to the card so it's not so just plain. And in this card kit, there's also the dies. And I just cut these out of some of the scrap pattern paper that was in the kit. And just gluing them randomly around the images on the square. I did have this bow. I spent a long time trying to fix this bow to make it look good. And I gave up. So that's gone. I'm not going to put it on the card. I was too frustrated. But instead, I'm going to add a sentiment. This comes from the stamp set in the card kit, and it says, "Some bunny loves you." And I'm just trimming that down and going to just add a little bit of a fishtail on the right-hand side there, and then prop it up with some scrap cardstock, just so it's nice and flush. Because don't forget, that image of the bunny is propped up already. So I just need to make sure it's all flush with that level. So there we go. I just add that and I'm going to glue that down. And then what do? Add some bling? I think I'm going to add some bling, and then that's my card. So I do hope you enjoyed this. I hope this has inspired you to create with your card kit. If you have from Love from Lizi's, definitely check them out. If you are not familiar with Love from Lizi's, they have a monthly card kit. And they have just recently moved to Canada, so potentially, don't quote me on this, shipping may be cheaper to North America now. Once she opens up her shop again. So I do hope you enjoy these enormous A7 cards, and don't forget to check out everyone else in the design team who is also hopping along with Love from Lizi's. So until the next time, have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I'll talk to you all later. Take care. Bye.